Hi everybody, Dominic here, and welcome to my two-part review of the Maxxis Shorty tire. So the first part is my initial thoughts, which is this video here. I have not ridden this tire yet, so I literally got it a couple days ago. This is part of an overall overhaul on the bike that I'm doing, and I've had a lot of issues with tires recently. Some of it's been the wheels. These are also new wheels. I've switched wheels to the Stance Arc MK3. This is, in this case, we're using the Maxxis Shorty. It's a 27.5 2.4. I've got the 3C Max grip. I think they offer a couple of different rubber compounds in this one, so you can probably look on Maxxis to find out what exactly the rubber compound is. And then also it's got the downhill casing. So that's what this is, and one of the reasons that I've switched to this is I haven't been very happy with a couple of tires I've tried over the course of the last couple of years on this bike. What I value in a tire is grip, durability, grip, grip, grip. The ride style I do is a lot of huff and puff, my big belly up the hill, and then once I get to the top, go ahead and then ride down the hill and have a blast. My East Coast trails that I ride out here in Pennsylvania happen to be a lot of rocks, a lot of roots, and quite a bit of humidity in the summer. So this is a mud tire. It's supposed to have a lot of grip, and I'm hoping that solves a lot of the tire problems that I have in conjunction with the new wheels, which should help me get my my tire PSI lower from where it was. What I like about this tire in particular, and it was sight unseen, and part of why I'm doing this review is there's not many photos and videos that I found that showed kind of up close what the tire looks like, how malleable the rubber is, what the profile looks like when you're looking down on it, and things of that nature. So I hope to do all that so you get a feel for what this thing is like when it's actually out on your bike and all that good stuff. This tire has really wide spacing. It has some really great big knobs and a relatively flat profile when you look at it down. You know, when you're looking down on the tire, it's got a relatively flat profile. All of which, when I've had the tires with the flatter profile for my ride style, I definitely enjoy that a lot more than I do with the tire with a much rounder ride style. I don't do much racing. One race in my life I've done, and I only did it because it was a 24-hour race. I knew we were going to be drinking a lot of beer. So that's the kind of racing I'm not a racer. So for me, it's not about speed, it's about just having fun. And grip is a big part of having fun, having the confidence in your tires. So we're going to find out if this tire will have that confidence. I'm going to spend some time talking about a lot of the other tires that I've had and what I did and didn't like about them, and why that led to the choice in this one. I've had the Maxxis High Roller 2, which to be honest with you was the first time I had a tubeless tire. It was also on this bike, and I really liked them, and I only switched to other tires just to find out what they feel like and how they ride. After the Maxxis I had the High Roller 2s, I went from them to a Goma from the Vittoria, and I hated that tire. I mean, I really hated that tire. I think in hindsight, in retrospect, what was wrong with that tire for me was it didn't have a lot of grip. The tire was definitely not as malleable as this tire. I was running tubeless, but I had all kinds of issues where I'd get on rocks and I'd slip right off the rocks, where my Maxxis tires, the ones I had previously, didn't slip. And so I think the tire compound was probably a big part of that more than anything else. So that's another reason what led to this, is this, from what I was reading, was pretty grippy. The Trail Kings were great, but I had so many issues with blowing the tires out and losing my air pressure and pinch flats and stuff like that. It ultimately, I think that's probably due in part because of the rim was a 23mm internal diameter, whereas this Stance that I have right here is, I think, a 26mm, and that should solve some of the problem, because the narrower rims, when they're narrower, the tire wants to kind of, as it's going in against the rim, you get pressure on it and it'll pop up and pop off, and that's that's what was happening, blowing seal. And so I had a lot of issues with that. So I ended up running inner tubes most of last year. And with that, you have to have higher tire higher PSI and higher tire pressure. And I felt like the bike was just bouncing off everything. So my suspension wasn't doing me any good. So switched my rims, and in the process, I'm gonna go big with the tires. This tire, the Maxxis Shorty, is a wire tire. It's not foldable. So it is a little heavier. If you care about that, I need to lose some weight here before I start really caring about weight on the bike. I know it matters, but that's a racer's thing, and I'm not a racer. So if you're a racer and you care about weight, then that's something to think about, is look at the weight of this tire. Why I chose this tire ultimately was down to two reasons. First up, the tire tread aggressiveness is what I like in a tire. It's big, knobby. I just, to be honest with you, I like the way it looks, and that was a big part of it. I do think that the big knobs give me better grip in the type of riding that I do. And then the other part was the Maxxis factor. The Maxxis tires I had on this bike at first were great. I loved them. I was just experimenting with other tires, and every time I was riding, every tire was always comparing it to the Maxxis high roller 2s. So that was the big factor right there. I love the Maxxis. I wanted to go back to the Maxxis. Next up, I'm going to talk about the rubber pliability on these tires, and what they're like here in this environment. As I sit right now, it's about almost 45 degrees in this room, and these Maxxis tires have a massive amount of pliability. They're plenty grippy and sticky when you grab them. So I gotta imagine when you start riding in the summer in the 90 to 100 degree temperatures, that they just got a monster amount of grip, and that's what I'm hoping that I'll find. Now, by comparison, I have the Continental Trail King, and the Continental Trail King is, when you get right down to it, never mind the blue color on this, the Continental Trail King is just not quite as malleable and grippy feeling as the Maxxis tire. And then another tire that I have is my original Maxxis high roller 2s with moderate wear on them. And what happened with these tires was I actually caused the sidewall, the threads inside the sidewall to get basically all torn up. And with I thought my wheel was untrue. Went and found out that the sidewalls were all messed up. It's like it's your tire in your car not being balanced. And that's exactly what happened with this, is the tire would not balance, and it just wobbled, and it was bad. But by comparison, this tire compared to the Trail King is pretty, the rubber's pretty soft. It might be just the wear, the fact these are brand new, but the grip on these tires is not quite as much as what I have on the Shorties. It's still, overall profile is not bad. I really like it, and I really like, one of the things I like is the sidewall knobs kind of protruding out. I end up on rocks with all kinds of weird ankles, and I just feel if you got a tread pattern that has big lugs, and those lugs are really, rubbery, that they can give me more grip on those rocks. That's my theory. That in combination with the lower tire pressure and all that good stuff. Another tire I have with me is the Schwalbe, and that is the Magic Mary. And the tire compound is very similar on these to what you find on the Shorty. So I'll pull this up here. Easy. So here's the Schwalbe Magic Marys, and the tire compound is very similar. It's probably a little closer to the Continental Trail Kings, the way it feels for maniability, and the grip is not quite as grippy as the compound on the Shorties. But this tire has got a lot of high ratings. A lot of the guys I know who ride really aggressively, they ride with this tire. Another, if you want to see a review of overall tires, it's pretty scientific. I'd go check out Bike Radar, the 2016 tire review. They did 12 mountain bike tires. They rated the Magic Mary as the #1, and they rated the Shorty as #4. One tire I can't show you, of course, is my Vittoria Gomas, because I got rid of those things as fast as I could. I was so unhappy with them, so you won't get any idea what they're like compared to these tires. But the Goma has a pretty aggressive tread, and probably in dry environments, it's probably a great tire. It's just not the right tire for my type of environment and riding. Okay, pros and cons of what I think they're going to be. I think the pros are going to be grippy, and I think the cons are going to be it's going to wear out relatively quick because the rubber is so soft. So if you are the type of person that is trying to get the longest possible life out of tires, it might not be the right tire for you. Hopefully my long-term review will be able to answer that question for you.
So we got a nice little gentle climb here, so I thought I'd take a moment to talk about the tire. To be honest with you, today's conditions, we're hovering around freezing, up to 40, somewhere in that range. And the tire, it's too hard to tell. Initially, I think it's definitely better than what I've been running, but a lot of that's going to be the new wheels combined with the lower PSI because I'm not running inner tubes. But it definitely has great traction in the snow. So we'll see. We'll keep riding it, and time will tell. Thus begins some of the funnest trails, or section of trails here. Today I'm not feeling that. A little slippery. Nobody else has done Dick Ripper. We're gonna go for it. First to cut the line. Woo! Woo! Pop, 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 pop. There's no bad day to ride, but this is not a good day to test these tires.
There will be a follow-up video to this where I talk about how it handled after some extensive riding, and so stick around for that. Also, in closing, if you're not an IMBA member, consider joining an IMBA. That's the International Mountain Biking Association. They do a lot of good work to encourage and endorse mountain biking, and also advocate on the behalf of mountain bikers. I don't participate in many of the meetings because I just don't have the time for it, and I'm not really interested in all the politics and get involved with all those kind of clubs. But I am glad that there are people that do, and they go out and advocate for mountain biking, because without them, there would be nobody out here defending mountain bike rights from people like selfish hikers who want the trails all for themselves. I do hike too. I'm just being silly. So, in closing, those are my thoughts on this tire, and they're worth exactly what you paid for them, unless you've got a subscription service like YouTube Red, in which case it's a derivative amount of the total value of your monthly or annual subscription. You can take that for what it's worth too. Have a good day.
Okay. Make sure I'm clipped in. Oh, you
Thank
got
God for your cameras, man. We get a little more break. I like the
I like the cameras, he
I
says.
wasn't ready earlier.
Oh, it's recording. Stop the recording. You can't see it when you're recording. Uh-oh, are you recording again? We don't need... you turned it on again. What are you doing? You could turn it recording again. All right, stop it.
Papa.
Hey, you're watching this on my mountain bike specific channel. If you want to see all the videos I do, but like overlanding and how-to videos, stuff like that, go check out my main channel in the link below. Woo! Be sure to check out my online store where you can get cool t-shirts like this mountain bike shirt. Jeep and overlanding t-shirts, mountain bike related t-shirts, or other loud and obnoxious Jeep shirts. Van life t-shirts, cool t-shirts like this one right here that tells everybody you're not a cyclist, you are a mountain biker.
Kids t-shirt.
And other cool shirts like this one right here.
Buy my dad's t-shirts so we don't have to live on the street.